Hi, welcome to this lab. In this lab, we are going to look at conversational agents, contextual intents. So by the end of this lab, you will be able to add a repeat intent and add an intent route for it to the confirm flight page, which is especially useful for voice interaction where the user may not have heard of all of the detail. Secondly, create FAQ intents that can be used to match user general question to the generic answer. Third, create root groups to handle contextual questions. For example, like frequently asked question asked in the middle of another part of the conversation. This will be useful for answering user question more specifically once there is more context. Then lastly, create a session parameter called last page that will be used to determine the flow of the conversation between default start flow and the upgrade flow. In the task 1, we will have to begin with enable the Dialogflow API first. Yep, click on enable. Yeah, I can see it's enabled. The next step we need to enable is the Vertex AI Agent Builder. Yep, click that. Next, we're going to go to the conversation agent, click on the create. We will build our own agent, so click on build your own. And for the name, we call it Flight Booker Contextual Intents, and set the location to US West 1. And then change the conversation start to flow and click create. Now we go to the setting. We want to enable the cloud logging and click save. So with that, we have completed the task 1. Move on to the task 2. We will need to import a block conversation agent file. Right here, we go to view all agent, and then go to the create the agent that you just created, and we want to do the restore using the restore here. So first you choose cloud storage, and then give the URL and click on restore. Now you will have a conversation agent that has everything completed from the earlier lab. With that, we have let's mark the task 2 as completed and verify your restore agent. You will notice that there's an upgrade flow that has been added in addition to the output from the earlier lab. The purpose is to allow you to jump ahead to implement some more advanced feature during the time allotted for the lab. So just confirm you can see all these intents here. And the flow, you will have default start flow and the upgrade. So we will want to add the ability to repeat the information. So now go to the manage here. So in the conversation, sometimes you ask the other person to repeat what they just say. In the same way, you would like to have this capability for your conversation agent. This scenario is more likely to happen with a voice-enabled conversation agent that is in the chatbot. So let's start with creating a new intent. So the new intent name is called user request repeat, and then we will add these training phrases. Okay, so go to the once you have finished this, you can click on the save. Now we go to the build and default start flow and go to the confirm flight status, and beside the routes we want to add a new user request repeat route for the following. Okay, what's the name of the, that is the user request repeat, the one that you just created. And for the add dialog box here, we will say sure, let's repeat that, and then go to the transition page. Then we want to select the check flight status and click save. And you can see this is appear here. So you want to transition to the check flight status page away from the confirm flight status page, because the entry fulfillment message should be triggered by a repeat request. By transitioning to the previous page, check flight status with all parameter already filled with, automatically move the flow from check flight status to confirm flight status. Now let's test out by toggle the simulator. So I will just say I want to check the flight status. Okay, so ask for the booking reference, that is the booking reference, and then I ask them to repeat. So this is the reply, which looks good to me. So with that, we have finished the task 2 here. Now moving on to the task 3, we're going to group the FAQ. So back to the intents, we will create 3 more. Let's create, this is called the FAQ mouse upgrade. So these are the phrases that I want to use in the intent. Okay, save that after you finish, and we'll create a second one called FAQ cabin limits. Okay, with that I finish entering all the training phases. Save, and then we will create the last intents we want here. And this is the FAQ cabin trees. Okay, same here, we already enter all these training phases and click save. And go back to the build. Still here, under the manage route groups, we will need to create a new, and this is default start flow, and for the name we call it general FAQ, and click save. Click into your newly created route group, and you want to add the route here. So the first one is the mouse upgrade. And the message we'll add into the agent here. Yes, depending on the flight availability, we can put you in a request for an upgrade from economy. Okay. So with that, we can save it, and then we will add another route. That is for the limit. And then for the dialog box, same here. And click save. Just want to check something. Yeah, it's already done. Now the next intent and the last one. Okay, add root. This for the battery. Yep, it's good now, save. And now we will want to add the general root group to the default start flow. Go to the build and click on the start page. And then we will add a state handler and say we want to apply the checkbox for the root groups here, and click on the plus sign. And then from here you will select the general FAQ and click save. So inside you will see there are 3 next to it, indicating that it contains 3 roots. Now you can test. So right here I'll just use this. How many bags can I bring into the cabin? It depends on the destination, which looks good to me. And now let's say I want to book a flight. So it asks me what city you want to depart from. I say Sydney. Okay, so now they ask me what is the month and date of the departure. Now I ask a random question, what about power bank? So it gave me this answer, which is exactly what I expected. And now I go back to say tomorrow. And then let's say I just ask, when can I get an upgrade? Okay, so maybe I have to enter again which day. Maybe say tomorrow we are flying. And no return flight. Test name. Okay, so correct. Go. Now I will ask them for the upgrade, which is correct. Task 4, now we're going to add the context sensitive answer. Depending on the stage of conversation, a question may result in general answer or a more specific answer. Context is the key. For instance, if you inquire about upgrading your flight with your frequent flyer points, the answer could be general in the sense that you can upgrade the flight based on points and seat availability. If you have a booked flight, asking the same question will result in a more specific answer because you will know the point required and if there are seats available. So in this section, you will use the same root group feature to create a context-sensitive root group. So we will repeat the step to create a new root group, this time calling it FAQ during flight status. Go back to the manage and we'll create a new root groups. Okay, we create a new one, use the default start, and this is the name. Save. So we will only add one intent into this FAQ here, and then the intent name is called FAQ cabin limits, and we will add one dialogues, this one. That's it. And we will set the transition target to the check flight status page. All good, and click save. Now we will go back to the build and confirm flight status. Here we will add a state handler, and then we will click on the checkbox, click on the root group here, and we'll add the new FAQ during flight status root group and click on save. Okay, you can click inside just to make sure everything looks good. Now we can test by entering this one. Cabin bag as carry on, and they reply me it depends on your destination airport. Say I want to check the flight status. Okay, I say I want okay, so I say check flight. Okay, with this new booking reference, and I want an upgrade. So this is the, so I say I want to upgrade, right? It asked me for the frequent flyer number, so I give them the frequent flyer number. So he say thank you, confirm your request for upgrade has been received. Then I say okay, great. Then he will say that, could you say that again? So did you notice any peculiar behavior? Why didn't the agent understand the last part of the conversation or return to the main flow again? Notice that page and parameter information in the simulator, you can see that you are still in the upgrade flow, and in the upgrade request received page, it appears the upgrade flow did not return to the confirm flight status page from the default start flow. So one way to fix this is to change the upgrade request received page in the upgrade flow to end the flow so that the control can be returned to the calling confirm flight status page. So we will go back to the upgrade flow and click on the upgrade request received page. So open the configuration pane of the only route there. It has a label true, and it is the condition type of route. Notice that you may have to click on the route first. So you have to click on the true, go down to the page, and then change this to end flow and click save. Now let's I restart the conversation, checking the flight. That is the booking reference. Okay, so I have to choose the right flow. So this one. And I say I want to upgrade. Then he asked me for the frequent flyer number, that is the one. Then now I say great. See what happened. Then I say yes, please go ahead. So he said our agent will be in touch, which is good. So if you review the data in the test simulator and note that the agent has successfully transferred the control from upgrade flow back to the confirm flight status page in the default start flow, and finally the anything else page that is good. But wait, for the routes of the confirm flight status page, you are only expecting the 3 possible intent response: confirmation yes, confirmation no, and user request repeat. This is precisely why the conversation agent does not understand great response from the end user. One way to fix this is to change the behavior of the upgrade flow and make it more reusable for other parts of the default start flow. you use a custom session parameter to achieve this slightly more sophisticated routing next. So moving on to task 5, conversation routing with a session parameter. In this session, you will introduce a new session parameter named last page and see how this will help route between default start flow and upgrade flow more seamlessly. So we will introduce the last page session parameter. So back to the manage root groups here, and so I click on the FAQ mouse upgrade and I want to add a parameter. Sorry, go to the root groups flow default start page, and inside this FAQ, and then we will select the upgrade route. Under the parameter preset, we will want to add a parameter, and that is called last page, and we want the value to be flight status. It must be within the double quotation. Okay, all good. Click on save. So go to the upgrade and then select the upgrade and click on the upgrade receive. And now we want to change the route transition from end flow to default start flow. Okay, upgrade and then select the upgrade receive request and click this one, the true. And from the end flow, we will say want to go to the default start flow. The flow here changed to default start flow. Yep, click save. Now go back to the default start flow and click on the start page and say we want to add a new route. This one. Yep. And then go to the condition here. Select the option match at least one, and then enter this, and then show this is equal to flight status, and go to the transition here in the page, select the check flight status and click save. So up to now, the start page in the default start flow had only intent route. Now your start page has a new route that is based on condition rather than an intent. Add the last page parameter to the parameter preset of your anything else so that it will set to null again as appropriate like other parameter. So we will go to anything else. And add this parameter and go to this parameter, add parameter, so say anything else. Yep, that's it, and click save. Now let's restart the conversation. Say check flight. So I say what is, they ask me for my booking reference. I say, by the way, can I get an upgrade? They say yes, depending on the flight and availability. Okay, so I give them my booking reference, and then they look up for it and return the information, and I say I want to upgrade. Now they ask me for my flight number. So it says that thank you, confirm your request has been received. So can you explain this new routing behavior? The last page parameter is set to flight status when the FAQ mouse upgrade route in the FAQ during flight status route group is triggered. The upgrade flow is called, which is where the frequent flyer requested number is requested and the upgrade request is confirmed. The upgrade flow assists by transitioning to the start page of the default start flow. The route in the start page detects the last page parameter is set to flight status and routes this automatically to the check flight status page. In the check flight status page, the required PNR number parameter is already filled, and thus it transits automatically back to confirm flight status and the loop is complete. Okay. So can you reuse this flow during the flight booking? Certainly. For instance, if you were branching from the flight booking part of the conversational flow, specifically at the confirm trip page, you can assign a booking value to the last page parameter. That way, user can request an upgrade after booking a flight and experience the same flow. So, task 6, use the last page with flight booking. So finally, see if you can implement the last page condition routing for the flight booking part of the conversation. For instance, in the booking scenario, the condition would be when the last page is equal to booking, and the transition would be to the ticket information page. Don't forget to create a new route group for FAQ during booking to handle the new routes and add it to the confirmation stage of your flow. That will be the challenge here. Finally, just to show you how do you want to export your agent. So first of all, we go to the view all agent and go to select the intents that you created, or the agents that you created, and then from here there's an export button. Okay, so you can export it as a raw bytes or JSON package. So let's say I leave it as default. Okay, so then from here I enter the path, maybe call this as 2. Then you can export. Okay, so that will be the file name here. Never mind, I won't export. With that, we have finished this lab. Thanks for watching.